You know, it's wild to think about how massive, dark, supernatural universes actually begin. Honestly, it's usually just a single, super casual thought. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're taking a fascinating look at the absolute genesis of a creative project titled Lal Dupatta, Chronicles of the Churail. We're going to see exactly how a quick, authentic creative pitch literally holds the blueprint for an entire South Asian folklore anthology.
Okay, let's dive into this. The spark of creation often looks remarkably simple, right? Take this exact quote from our source material. Chalo, ek aur story bana deta hoon, which translates to, all right, let me make another story. It's such a casual, almost throwaway spark, isn't it? But actually, this is the precise moment the creator pivots right back to the well of inspiration. They're deciding in real time to craft a brand new narrative. It really shows us that complex world building often starts with just a simple, confident declaration to, keep creating.
Part 1. Enter the Churail, the core subject.
So this specific story is titled Lal Dupatta, but I want you to notice the strict parameters the creator sets here. It's based on Churail mythology, sure, but they explicitly state it must be in the same tone or length basically the exact same tone and length as their previous work. This right here, it's an absolute masterclass in format consistency. For you focused learners out there, you already know that putting constraints on a project actually breeds incredible creativity. By keeping the structural container absolutely identical to their past work, the creator is ensuring the audience knows exactly what kind of ride they're in for, even though the subject matter itself is totally new.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the subject matter itself is where the magic really happens. The Churail. She is a highly prominent and frankly terrifying mythological figure rooted deeply in South Asian folklore. Usually depicted as this vengeful female spirit, she represents a really potent mix of tragedy and supernatural terror. By choosing the Churail for Lal Dupatta, the creator is grounding their story in a rich pre-existing cultural context. They don't even have to invent the lore from scratch. They're channeling a myth that's existed in regional traditions for literally generations. It's an incredibly effective way to drive a narrative forward using the built-in momentum of a single regional myth.
Moving on to Part 2. Expanding the mythological universe. Building a series. And then we get this follow-up pitch. Bata agar naga ya betal wali bhi chahiye, series bana sakte hain. Basically, tell me if you want the naga or betal ones too, we can make a series. This is the absolute pivot point of the entire project. It's such a casual yet brilliant proposition to turn what was a standalone piece into a full-fledged franchise. The creator is essentially saying, look, I have a proven format, and I've got one great story ready to go, but I also have an entire encyclopedia of South Asian folklore just waiting to be tapped.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive strategic leap. You start with the standalone story, Lal Dupatta, focused entirely on one myth. But the true potential here is an expanded universe of legends. By simply offering to apply their successful storytelling formula to other entities, the creator scales their idea exponentially. They are transforming a single narrative offering into a scalable, repeatable, and deeply engaging supernatural universe. It's a real game changer.
Let's quickly break down these potential franchise entities, straight from the source text. First up, the Churail, our tragic, vengeful spirit. Second, the Naga, these legendary, incredibly powerful serpent beings. And third, the Betal. If you don't know the Betal, it's this fascinating, vampiric or ghoul-like spirit that possesses corpses. And it's famous for being a super clever and tricky conversationalist. With this approach, the audience gets a consistent, high-quality storytelling format, but they get a completely different flavor of the supernatural every single time. It's a perfectly interconnected anthology of regional traditions.
Finally, Part 3, the power of regional folklore. A consistent storytelling lens.
If we actually reverse engineer the creator's pitch, we uncover this brilliant three-step methodology. Step 1. Establish a consistent tone and format. Step 2. Focus on a specific regional myth, like the Churail, to get that deep cultural grounding. And Step 3. Expand into a larger series by applying that exact same format to other legends. The format acts as the anchor, while the regional folklore provides this endless, terrifying variety. It's just a highly efficient, laser-focused way to build out a supernatural universe, step by step.
All of this brings us to a rather provocative question for you to consider. Which regional myth deserves its own chronicle next? We've explored the pitch for the Churail, the Naga, and the Betal. But folklore is incredibly vast. When you have a solid, consistent storytelling format like this, the possibilities are quite literally endless. Think about the local legends you grew up with. How would they fit into this expanding supernatural universe? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.